In the Face of Demolition, 1953. After World War II, millions of refugees from China's civil war flooded into the British colony of Hong Kong. This classic film weaves together the stories of the many impoverished families all living in one teeming, soon-to-be demolished tenement building, with Lee playing the sincere son of one of the poorest tenants. In less than 5 minutes of screen time, he manages to deliver a standout, touching performance in a movie filled with them. Love, Part 1 and 2, 1955. Set on board a steamship, this two-part melodrama unfolds in 6 episodes, dealing with 6 different aspects of love. In the 5th storyline, Lee plays the youngest son in a family of struggling street performers. A flashback of father and son performing for a crowd allows Lee, a ham at heart, to display his talent for showmanship. It's utterly charming, and one of the best scenes of Lee's career. Marlowe, 1969. Lee's first Hollywood cameo was a gift from his Oscar-winning kung fu student, Sterling Siliphant, who came up with the character of mob enforcer Winslow Wong for his mentor to play. There are moments when Lee, who is self-conscious about his Chinese accent, comes off as stiff and nervous as he exchanges snappy dialogue with James Garner's Marlowe. But he eventually loosens up during a scene in which he demolishes Marlowe's office in one continuous ballet of directed violence. The movie flopped at the box office and was panned by critics. Roger Ebert reserved his only praise for that action sequence, although he didn't deem Lee important enough to use his name or get his ethnicity right. Somewhere about the time when the Japanese karate expert wrecks his office, in a very funny scene, we realize Marlowe has lost Eye of the Dragon, Darling Girl, 1957. Lee was once the cha-cha champion of Hong Kong. Also fun, his real-life dance partner, Margaret Leung, co-stars as a spoiled rich girl in this light-hearted rom-com. Want to see Bruce Lee as a fashionable, sweater-vest-wearing toff as he cha-chas in a nightclub? This is the movie for you. The only bit of acting required on his part is when Leung's love interest angrily confronts him, and instead of engaging, Lee's character flees in terror. It may be the only known instance of Lee running away from a fight. Too Late for Divorce, 1956. This is the 3rd film in a romantic trilogy, beginning with She Says No to Marriage, 1951, and followed by She Says No to Marriage, But Now She Says Yes. Sweet, An Orphan's Tragedy, 1955. Here Lee gets to play a happy orphan, albeit briefly. His idyllic country life gets disrupted by an escaped criminal who turns out to be his biological father. The Guiding Light, 1953. In yet another message-driven melodrama, a foster child gets adopted by a doctor and his wife, who run an orphanage for blind girls. When Lee's character grows up, he discovers the cure for blindness. The movie ends with a direct-to-camera plea: every child can be just like him. Poor handicapped children are waiting for your love, for education and nurturing. By this point in his career, Lee had mastered the orphan role, infusing his performance with a heavy dollop of pathos. The Orphan, 1960. Lee was never fully comfortable on screen unless he was the star, and he had been waiting 10 years, since The Kid, for a leading role. Modeling his troubled teenage character on James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause, Lee gave his most emotionally complex performance as an actor in this film. One moment he is snarling, the next laughing maniacally, and all the while spewing out a fetid stew of Cantonese street slang.